So much to do, so little time.
This is Cupid, and this is Tough Questions. Today I got the botanical badass, Tatiana. Tatiana, you're a woman coming up in wrestling. What kind of fertilizer do you use?
I don't use anything special. I just use the standard fertilizer that you can find in any home goods store.
Now that is sweet. That is awesome. This has been Cupid, and this is Tough Questions. Cupid has spoken.
This event is scheduled for one fall, and it will be for the vacant 3RW Inner City Championship. Introducing to my left, hailing from the Avenue of the Strongest, New York, he claims a height of 6 feet 7 inches and a weight of 651 pounds. He is Colossal, Mike Law. And to my right, his opponent from the Brambles, weighing 197 pounds. He is the hotness, Troy Lords.
Back here, Three Rivers Wrestling. My name is Jim Amato, being joined by Tim Hott. And Tim, what a matchup we have here. 2 time-tested veterans, 2 real pros here in Mike Wall and Troy Lords.
I know that the promoters of the 3RW searched far and wide for contenders for the 3RW title, and these men had the credentials to get placed into this matchup.
Absolutely true. The Inner City Championship, I believe, is what's going to be on the line here. So certainly one of these guys can propel their career in just one night.
Both of these men are well-traveled. Both of these men are experienced. Both of these men are top contenders in any arena.
And certainly very technically savvy are both Troy Lords and Mike Wall. As you see Troy here taking control, and Mike Wall's going to have to look to protect his neck, protect his arms, because Troy Lords is a real surgeon in there. Troy has a PhD in ring psychology and a master's in mat mechanics. Quite frankly, there are no flaws in the game of one Troy Lords.
And look at the torque on that shoulder right now.
And transitioning into a Fujiwara armbar to continue the advantage here. Mike Wall rolls out into a front chantry.
I'm not a big fan of Mike Law's attitude, but I have to give him credit for pushing off the ropes there. Great understanding of ring positioning, true ring general.
And the physical chess match here, you're seeing count and point counterpoint here. And look at how Mike Wall twisting and contorting the wrist, trying to really dictate the pace of this contest. Troy works his way back up to a vertical base. Nice back heel trip from Troy, putting Mike Wall back down on the canvas, and now Mike Wall is in a defensive wrestling situation because he has to keep those shoulders off the canvas.
It's interesting to think about whether or not these men are used to being in these type of predicaments. Both of these 2 accomplished champions everywhere they've gone.
Yeah, certainly they're not going to see anything new, and I believe that's why these 2 are so evenly matched and why you're not going to see either one of them make a mistake. For example, essentially what Troy Lords just did is created a timeout for himself.
The adversity that these guys are facing in fighting someone that is on their caliber in their league might be throwing Troy Lords off right now.
What Troy Lords just did is broke the momentum that Mike Wall was building here.
Which is excellent strategy from Troy Lords.
That's what I'm saying, man. This guy has a master's degree in mat mechanics and a PhD in ring psychology. Troy Lords knows exactly what he's doing. But we have some head games from Mike Wall as well.
I think a veteran like Troy Lords will be able to move through those.
Troy in his 20th year of wrestling here, and Mike Wall is about up in that tenure as well.
Mike Wall, one of the more innovative competitors that I've seen.
And look at that, Mike Wall Wall quite winnowing, wrestling circles around Troy. Shoulders were down, but again, Troy showing the veteran that he is. Escaped very, very quickly. Was not going to allow a fluke situation to determine this title contest.
Well, I think that Mike Law might have grabbed some tights there.
What are you talking about? You're watching the same match I am. There was no tights going on there.
I told you I don't like Mike Law's attitude. I'm going to trust Troy Lords. If he says the tights were pulled, I believe him.
What are you, on the take or something? You on his payroll?
I just like the guy. He's talented, he's well-traveled, and he's an honest, good man.
I don't think I agree with anything you just said. Mike Wall trying to keep those shoulders off the canvas, using the legs to escape, and just like that, the momentum tilts. We've talked about the physical chess match. You're seeing it play out right here because now Troy is put in the position where he has to try to extricate himself from this particular spot. And look at that. Troy not only escapes, but now has the legs grapevine and a potential submission situation here.
Integrity and wrestling mechanics. You gotta love Troy Lords.
And man, look at Troy stretching Mike Wall.
He was working over that shoulder earlier, and now we're looking at the ribs and the back.
Pain coursing through the body of Mike Wall. You can see the expression etched on his face. And right back to that arm. Troy is like a pit bull in there, latching onto that arm. And right now, Mike Wall is on an island here, Tim. He's got nowhere to go.
I'm not familiar if he's had issues with that arm before. I'm sure Troy would have studied that. But if he hasn't had those issues before, he will after
Yeah,
today.
he certainly does now. Troy backs Wall up, shoots him in, up and over. Deep arm drag, very nicely done.
And now Law has control of the arm.
We are seeing textbook polished professional wrestling here.
There's a reason that these men were selected to be the contenders for this Inner City Championship, and you're seeing it with your own eyes.
And you can see the frustration building up on the face of Troy Wards. He's a very eccentric individual to begin with, but now he's even more frustrated. They have thumb to the eye. Did you see that one, Tim?
I didn't see anything. I think that Troy Lords is the type of guy you want to bring home, introduce to your parents. You know, just a good stand-up individual.
Look out. Troy had it scouted, and he sends Mike Wall right into the buckle, right back to that arm.
Nothing wrong with that.
Clearly, this is the game plan for Troy Wards.
And right back to that shoulder.
And as much as I admire the tenacity and the fight of Mike Wall, I believe referee George Ross may have to think about stopping this one, because I believe that Mike Wall is in jeopardy of suffering a severe injury here.
Maybe Mike Law should just give up and live to fight another day.
I don't think that that's going to happen, and you know it's not going to happen.
Well, maybe if Mike Law was a little bit smarter, that'd be the strategy that he took. If he had a great manager on the outside of that ring, he'd be encouraging that.
And did you see how Troy had the arm of Mike Wall wrapped around those ring ropes? Troy using the ring as a weapon. That's how resourceful Troy Wards can be. But it's gut check time, and Mike Wall is pushing the gas. He's pushing forward.
As much as I like Troy Lords, I don't think he wants to get in a striking match with Mike Law.
Shoots him off here, up and over. Textbook leg lariat caught Mike Wall in the temple. Pinpoint precision from Troy Wards, hooks the leg, and Mike Wall is able to force his way out, but for how much longer? Because we know that there is no surcease from the offensive assault of Troy Wards.
A tactician and a role model is Troy Lords.
Role model for who?
You know, if more people would be like Troy Lords, this world would be a better place. Look at that kick in the face.
And notice Troy like a bear trap on that arm. And you heard the contact that time. That was bone on bone.
This may be the last time we see Mike Law.
But again, the trademark resiliency of Mike Wall.
Strong knife edge chop.
Double tough is Troy Ward's, as is Mike Wall. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to put your name in the history books of Three Rivers Wrestling? That's what we're going to find out right here.
It's all about that inner-city title for both of these men.
And Mike Wall, he may be out of it here. That may be it. Shoulders down, and that was all guts. You can't tell me you don't admire the heart of Mike Wall.
He's getting my respect, but this game plan of Troy Lord's is just working to perfection here.
Oh man, again, the physical style of Troy Ward's, the sounds you can hear it, the sounds tell the story.
And right now that sound is Mike Law screaming about the agony that his shoulder is in.
And he is at the mercy of Troy Ward's. You know, the eccentric nature of Troy Ward's, quite frankly, is what makes him so dangerous, because he will not give it a second thought if he can end Mike Wall's career to obtain this championship. Beautiful Northern Lights throw, had the arm hammer locked. And I admire the fight of Mike Wall, but I sincerely believe he is in real jeopardy here.
It's just a matter of time at this point.
You got money on this thing?
Maybe.
How much did you bet on Troy Ward's? That's what I want to know.
I don't think all the cryptocurrency in the world is enough to bet on Troy Lord's.
And look at Troy again, that pit bull mentality, using his head as a weapon. Troy, quite literally, is sacrificing himself to inflict damage on his opponent here.
He's a trendsetter, a role model. I'm really impressed with him.
And again, Troy showing that ring generalship, knowing exactly when to cut Mike Wall off.
An accomplished tag wrestler, an accomplished singles wrestler.
Oh, absolutely. Troy Ward's has won championships everywhere he's gone, and that's why he wants to add 3RW gold to his resume.
This is where the past, present, and future of Pittsburgh wrestling converge. This is 3RW. Inner City title. It's going to be one of the most prestigious titles in Pittsburgh and all of wrestling.
Beautiful neck breaker. Troy's head bouncing off the canvas like a basketball. Look out, Mike Wall, K-Rana! Beautifully done.
I can't even pretend that move wasn't impressive, Jim.
I don't know how much closer you can get there, man.
But
That K-Rana, that was picture perfect. If that doesn't put Troy Ward's away, Mike Wall has to be asking himself, what does he have to do to leave this building with the championship?
Especially while favoring that shoulder.
Kick was caught.
Troy's just playing with him now.
Troy shrugs him off. Man,
That was a hard elbow.
big collision in the corner. Bad spot for Mike Wall. He's hung up precarious situation here. That could be the kiss of death for Mike Wall. Diving German folds Mike Wall in half.
What an innovative move.
Gotta be it. No! Unbelievable. You know, Tim, I believe John Wayne Gacy may appreciate the stylings of Troy Ward's.
Like I said, if more people would be like Troy Lord's, the world would be a better place.
I believe this is the most physical contest that 3RW has seen in quite some time.
Earlier I said I don't know if Troy wants to get...
Wait a minute! Shoulders down. Oh, man! Right to the face! Hit him right in the mouth!
Both of these men are accomplished strikers. We're seeing that here.
Troy may be out of it. He may be out cold. This may be academic.
He's wasting a lot of time up there for my taste.
Mike Wall wants to put this one away. Troy, you can see in his eyes, he's clearly on Dream Street. He has no idea where he's at. Big splash from Mike Wall. He got him.
We have a new inner-city champion.
What a matchup. What a fight. And what a victory for Mike Wall. The brand new Three Rivers Wrestling Inner City Champion.
What an incredible addition to an already impressive resume.
What a barn burner of a matchup.